Peace, and blessings. I definitely want to welcome everyone back for another great and exciting episode of Scar Tissue Talk Show. And this is basically where, we interview people who have any type of scarring, physical scars that they may have or have not, or overcome any type of self-esteem issues. You know what I mean? Sometimes we see people with scars, and, it's kind of rude to ask people, like, what's that scar from? So I was influenced and inspired to create a show and a platform to where people can feel comfortable to tell their own story and speak about their scars. It's that simple. And so today, I'm happy and excited to have another guest. This particular guest is actually right out of Ohio. I've been networking with a lot of people from Ohio. I don't know, that's just where the energy is drawn to right now. I don't fight the feeling, what I'm talking about. And man, this young lady is very talented. You know what I mean? Not only is she a music artist and a songwriter, she does a host of other things. And like her name is says, Fresh the Poet, because she's a spoken word artist. She's a poet. She got them bars for you. But today, she's here to tell her story. So I just kind of want to welcome her to the show real quick. And so let me first show you the flyer so we can all be on the same page. Yes, absolutely. That's her representing Cincinnati, Ohio. Shout out to all my peoples in Ohio. Shout out to my man's Banks. You know what I mean? If you're willing from him for him, then I wouldn't have the pleasure of being able to interview her today for her to know about me. So with that being said, let me go ahead and welcome to the show.
What's
Fresh.
going on?
Peace to you. Welcome to
Can
the
you hear me
platform.
good?
Welcome back. Oh yeah, absolutely.
All
Peace. How
right.
you doing today though?
I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm great. I'm blessed by the best. You know how I work in that order.
Facts.
You look great. You look great, and that's what's so exciting and powerful about us as people, as Black people, as what I mean, just human beings. Like we don't look like what we went through, and today, I'm proud and grateful that to say that I'm glad you're here. You able to
Thank,
speak, to tell your
thank,
story. That's what's so powerful right now. And I just want to kind of ask you, what I mean, if you can, remind people first who you are, what I mean, when it comes to the artistic, talented side of yourself and how they can support your platform, please.
um, well, first and foremost, I'm a writer. I think about above all anything else, writing is probably the top, what I'm saying, top name of things that I do. And then right after that, like immediately after that, you can go into poet and rapper, definitely songwriter. I wrote songs for other people. Now I
Mm,
host and I promote and I put events together, and that's primarily everything that I do. I just joined a nonprofit organization to, help other people that do arts in the city as well, trying to get the community together, trying to bring shine a
okay.
lot of light on the arts community in the city. And you can find me on everything at Fresh the Poet. That's the best way to support me. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Fresh the Poet, everything spelled exactly the dictionary way, Fresh the Poet.
Right. Absolutely. Say someone felt some type of way about your story and was just like inspired, maybe it's a story that they'll be able to relate to themselves. You know what I mean? How can someone make a donation toward you?
So the best way to make a donation, I do have a GoFundMe. The link, I think I sent you the link. I might not have sent you the link. I'm not like off the top of my head. I don't GoFundMe slash. I couldn't tell you like the exact tag and numbers and stuff, but I definitely have a GoFundMe. I also have a Cash App if anybody wanted to hit the Cash Light. Cash App is Fresh Life 513 FRESHLIFE 513.
Mm. Okay, absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I just want to start off by saying I'm proud of you. You know what I mean? And man, I'm just
Thank
so
you.
grateful to have you on the show today. And if you may, can you kind of just tell us the reason why you're here today in reference to your scars and and what you survived recently?
Yeah, so October 6th, my little cousin had a birthday party. So we were leaving the birthday party. It was me and my two little cousins. The car check engine started flashing, so we pulled over on the highway. We were just about to get off the E-way. And I went up under the hood I was gonna try to disconnect the battery and reconnect the battery and see if that allowed the car to start so that we could at least get off the highway. And this is the part where I guess like I black out. But in the midst of that, another car, he was a drunk driver and he was coming, and I don't know if he just didn't see the car, but he hit my car, which allowed him to like not a like not that this is a good thing, but he sideswiped me instead of like hitting me side on. I don't know if I was going like back to the car to get in the car or whatever, but he had hit me. And so I remember hitting the ground, and then like I came back to, and I just remember feeling like my whole body swelling. And I heard my little cousin say like, "Oh my gosh, she just got hit by a car." So I'm like, "Shit, I just got hit by a car." And
Right.
and she went to go check back on my little cousin. And I, like I was scared. I was terrified. I was in shock. And so like I'm screaming, and I'm like, no, don't leave me. Like, don't leave me right here. I was very terrified. I think I went like
Right.
right back out of it. And went in the ambulance. They question you, Shana. So I woke up a little bit, but then next thing you know, I'm in the ER. I'm in the ICU. Two broken legs. I broke my femur in my right leg. I fractured my tibia in my left leg. Um, I have an L5 fracture that's in my back and the lower vertebrae of your back and your spine. Um, I had two fractures in my nose and one fracture in my left eye. This one over here, and a chipped tooth. I don't know like what hit my face exactly, but it chipped this tooth, and then like the front four teeth are numb. Um, I'm not. It didn't have any like fractures in here, but I'm hoping to get that feeling back. I'm hoping that the teeth don't die, and that's like the extent of my injuries. As far as like lost a lot, lost my car was completely totaled. I was in barber school, not able to go back to barber school. So I just been in full recovery for about the last almost 2 months now. And now,
Wow.
I'm here sharing my story.
Well, please let me start by saying you are a powerful young lady. Not only, what I'm saying, blessed, covered by the Most High, what I mean? It's just amazing that you have the courage and the fortitude to be able to, that soon after experiencing such a life threatening event, to be able to speak about, what I'm saying, your story. And, what I mean? I'm grateful that you reached out to me and was ready, like you was ready to tell your story. And,
Thank
like,
you, thank you.
not a lot of people, I don't think a lot of people would have been that courageous, brave. Like, you different. You know what I mean? Obviously, you explained your titles, at the beginning of the show, so that tells a lot about you. That they not like us. You know what I'm saying? In
No,
that
for
order,
real,
like,
for real.
yeah.
The first thing, my dad was there when everything had happened. He was like the first person to come
Mm,
see me in the hospital. And when I woke up, one of the things he had said to me was like, you still get to tell your story. And at the time, it was like I had told him like I don't want to tell any more stories. Like I've already been through a lot. I don't need any more story. I don't need any more testimonies. But as like once I got at the hospital and a lot of things were approaching, I had heard about your talk show, and it was like things were lining up for me to tell my story exactly what he had said
mm,
to me. And so I had just I decided to take that opportunity to tell the story, just to do exactly what it is that he told me. And it's crazy because I shared it just a little bit on Facebook, and a lot of people reached out to me just from that, like saying that I was inspiring, and my strength was inspiring. And I don't see it that way, but I'm happy that other people can see it that way and take something good from it.
I like how you created the timetable and reference to your time in the hospital, and was doing like blogs basically about what I mean, the other side, like backstage, like what you was actually going through, like the whole healing process. What inspired you to do something like that? Because some people would be like embarrassed and shy to do that because that's a side of yourself that people's not familiar with.
Yeah. um it's definitely, I can't say definitely the chip tooth, and
Mhm.
the black eyes had me a little like hesitant to post it a little bit, because I definitely was for the most part I think I have a like a nice face and I have clear skin, and so that definitely
Mm,
did give me like some insecurities about it. But I also wanted to bring some awareness to just more so like drunk driving and the things that can happen. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
By the grace of God I live, but it's a lot of people that don't. And I didn't want to silence that story. Like I wanted to shine light on it more so.
Okay, and I have a lot of questions. When I hear your story, first I want to ask a question that I feel like a lot of people will want to know. First, did they catch the drunk driver?
They did catch the drunk driver. He also crashed his car, so he did
Hmm.
not get to make it anywhere. Now I don't know if he would have ran or not, but he didn't have a chance to go anywhere. They got him immediately. Working with the prosecutor currently. Um, he hasn't like been charged specifically with hitting me yet. I
Hmm.
think it's like I don't know how. A lot of things don't be on our time. It be on their time.
Right, absolutely. Um, and have you been able to be in contact with him by any means, or have he reached out to you, apologized, or anything of that nature,
Um,
or someone on his
no,
behalf?
he has not reached out to me in any way, shape, or form.
Hmm.
The very first, not the first court date, but the second court date, I think it was like pre-trial. I did go to that, and because I was trying to seek some information, and I had never seen him, because I got hit, and then I went to the
Right,
hospital, so I sat right next to him. Um, and I was like, oh, I'm such a goofball. But like I don't know. I don't have anything, I don't have
hmm,
any malice in my heart towards the man. So, I have like seen who he is, and I think he does know who I am, but we have not exchanged any conversation.
hmm. Well, let me. I definitely was gonna ask a couple of those questions you just said, but in reference to you saying you don't have any malice in your heart, you don't have no, you don't feel no type of way about him. And, I can kind of halfway understand that on because, me in my early years, I was a little reckless and stuff. And fortunately, I never hit anyone while being under the influence or anything like that, for we are not perfect, you know what I mean? So why is it that you are not mad at him or feeling any type of, malice despite, you have to go through and still going through respectfully your, saying your healing process?
I don't know. I think it might just be who I am. Do I feel like he should pay as far as like on a civil side? Absolutely. I didn't, like any type of legal bills, medical bills, anything type of like that, or that I missed out on because of him. Yeah, I think I'm biased when it comes to the system.
Right.
So I don't want to have say so for like if the prosecutor was to ask me, well, how much time do you think he should spend in jail? I would let them do their job. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not like my family, and my friends are pretty upset and they
Right.
feel like, he should get the worst and the worst should happen to him. But I feel like, like that's up to God. God kept me here. And you feel what I'm saying? So he's gonna, he got the final say if it's meant for him to like I don't think he hit me under malice. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think he
Right.
had intent to hit me or try to kill me. And I just don't have that in my heart to be like, well, I think he should do X amount of time or he should not be, like I just don't feel that way about it.
Well, I definitely want to applaud you for having such a kind heart and being so open minded and understanding that, again, people make mistakes. And if I may repeat, none of us are perfect. And, saying sometimes, what I mean, things happen and escalate when we out there just doing things that sometimes we don't supposed to be doing. You know what I mean? Anything is liable to happen in the universe. And I'm just grateful and happy that you survived to be able to tell your story.
Thank
Now, can you talk about a little bit about, because you look great, what I'm saying? You don't look like what you've been through. I don't,
thank you.
the broken bones, the nose fractures, the orbital breaks, like I don't see it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And God is good. You know what I mean? I'm grateful that I can say that when I'm looking at y'all, like I can't see what you've been through. So,
Thank you.
like right now, like what type of pain are you feeling or going through discomfort wise, like right now, if I may ask?
Whew, well, I'm no longer. I just recently stopped like opioids, pain meds. So my pain has finally went down. I was on a walker and now I'm more so on a cane. Got my cane here. And I'm kind of the fracture in my tibias is quite healed. That's my dog. Somebody's banging at the door. I'm sorry. But that one's quite healed. But the right leg, the femur, you know, that's the biggest bone in your body. And so that's gonna take much longer. They put a rod in my bone to you know, to help it heal. But it's that's like the main thing for now. I can't like slouch or, you know, like it's better if I try to sit up or something like that as far as my back. Yeah, I don't know what's going on out there. Somebody banging on the door. But
Oh, you want to get the door? You want to get the door? We need to take a
it's
commercial
like
break.
the apartment building door. It's not, you know, like a
Oh, okay, okay.
specific door, but somebody's trying to get in.
Okay, no doubt, no doubt.
But
Um,
as far as the face though, like the main, it's like a slight bruise here that I am putting vitamin E on like every single day, trying to get rid of. I try to keep, I like normally I try to keep my skin pretty clear, so it was already in my regimen to try to get all that stuff cleared. Um, the two black eyes, they took about, one was like more black than the other, so it took a little more time. But within like the first month, most of the bruising was pretty light, cleared up. Um, it's my legs mainly now. I got the walker. I obviously, I mean the cane. You can't see me walking with it, but definitely have had
right,
some random people ask, you know, like what has happened, like what happened to you, like, or you know, like what's going on? You look pretty young, you know, why you got a cane? And I was like, shit, I don't want to go out. Like it's that time. A lot of people want to go out, you know, for Thanksgiving, and I'm like, I'm on a
right,
cane, bro. I don't feel I don't feel super
right,
secure
right.
about that.
Right. Well, definitely. Let me remind you, take it slow. You know what I mean. In time, wounds heal. You know what I
Yeah,
mean, and hopefully, you can make a full recovery. But just take it slow. Don't rush the process. Just like you don't want to rush growing up, you do not want to rush the process when it comes to healing. When you went through
but
something as serious as yourself, you know what I mean, because you don't want to miss a beat in reference to the things that you're supposed to be doing. Like, are you in physical therapy?
yes, I go 2 times a week. Just went today, and I started that 2 weeks ago, and that has probably been the biggest help, the biggest progress. Like now that I started that, that's when I moved to the cane. I'm able to walk a little bit better, get my stuff a little stronger. I can bend it at least 100 degrees, which was the biggest
Mm,
thing for me, getting that mobility back. Because it is, I don't know, sleeping has probably been my most uncomfortable situation, because I don't like to sleep on my back for one, and I have to keep my legs straight. I can't, you know, like turn to the
mm,
side. It's like really, really heavy. I don't know if it's because of like
right.
the metal rod or because it's just weak, but it feels so heavy, so I can't lay any other position but straight on the back.
Mm. Okay, yeah, I can imagine how that could be difficult to deal with. You know what I mean? I too, I was in a car accident. Now I didn't get hit directly by a car. Fortunately, I had the protection of a car protecting me while I got hit by another vehicle. But
Hmm.
with that being said, it definitely changed my sleep pattern of how I was used to, of how I feel comfortable, how I like to sleep. Me personally, I used to be able to sleep any type of way, but now I have to sleep on my back. You know what I mean, as well, actually, because or else I like go numb. Are you
Yeah.
like feeling numbness and stuff like that with your legs? Because that's pretty serious. Like break both legs and the femur bone. Like that's
Um.
serious.
Yeah. So they give you. This is actually the second time I've had surgery on this leg. So it's
Mm,
I was a little more familiar with the rehab. But when you have the surgery, they give you a nerve block, which pretty much they give it to me in my thigh, which pretty much like numbs all of that, and kind of like the pelvis area, a little bit of the hip. And so I don't know if I had like any extra numbing outside of that, but that paralyzes pretty much like that whole area. And it slowly, you know, like comes back in. Today I might not feel the right side, but tomorrow, you know, that might start coming back in. The kneecap, I broke the femur, but it's crazy because I feel a lot of the stuff in my knee, and I think that's because I had
mm,
just had the ACL surgery 12 months, you
right.
know, like exactly 12 months prior, and so a lot of the pain is also in my knee, and that's also where they go in to do the surgery. So that's where most of my most of like a lot of my extra complications come from the numbness and tingling. It's all in the knee.
And I'm sorry when you was telling your story at the beginning, I might have missed that. But you know, after you was hit by the vehicle, struck by this vehicle, like where did you land? Like on the highway closest to the road, like you know, on the other
Um,
side. Like, where
so
was
my
you on the
car was in
shoulder?
the
Like,
emergency lane, and you know, I couldn't tell you exactly where I landed because when I heard my cousin say something, and I opened my eyes, I felt like I was close to the street, and I did everything I could to try to roll over towards, you know, the guard over there. But it was like a bunch of like your body couldn't pass up under there, really.
oh,
So
okay.
I'm not. I couldn't tell you exactly. I would have to ask them like where exactly was my body. Because I don't remember looking around and seeing anything. I just remember being face down, trying to roll
Mm.
over, and then they were putting me in like the gurney to put me into the ambulance.
Now you know you seem like a pretty brave soul. But how scary was this whole situation by again being face down? Now you have the understanding and knowledge that you just been struck by a car because your cousin yelled out. You know what I mean? In that moment, can you kind of explain like how scary of an experience that was?
It was terrifying. Me being in shock, I think amplified it, but I was terrified. Like I thought I was about to die. She was going back to the car to check on my other little cousin, and I felt myself kind of like, you know, going out of it. But if in at that moment I felt like I was about to die, like, you know, like I feel like I'm losing consciousness, and I'm about to go away. And I'm screaming and I'm yelling, you know, crying like don't leave me right here by myself. I was terrified. I
Mm,
was very, very terrified. I didn't know what was about to happen next. I didn't fully understand what had just happened. I didn't know what on my body was hurting, but I knew that it was
mm,
hurting. And
right.
it was just, it amazes me how much I can't remember and how much I do remember. Both of those two things amaze me the most because I don't remember seeing a car. I don't remember seeing headlights coming towards me. I don't
Mm,
remember that whole part of what happened, the getting hit part. I don't remember any of that. The only part I just remember coming back to, and I was just in a lot of pain.
right. And like you say you felt yourself swelling. That's amazing. Like that's a scary. That's scary. Like I don't think I've ever experienced where I can really feel myself
It
swelling.
definitely felt
That
that way,
was
like in my face, as if it was like, as if I just made contact and I woke back up and I could feel, you know, like my eyes getting swollen, my
mm,
cheeks, face, and nose. You know, like
mm,
you know how it feels when everything is swollen up, and it was, yeah, like I could just literally feel it as it was happening.
absolutely. And if I may, you know, let me take a quick break and just acknowledge the comments right here in the chat. You know, what I mean, I didn't want to interrupt you. You know, we such in a deep conversation, but I definitely have to acknowledge Global Empire Entertainment Media, a legendary brand right out of Chicago. My friend Teresa just had a birthday yesterday. Happy birthday, Teresa. She says, tuned in, salute to our hosts and guests tonight. Um, Sharing it out now. Appreciate you. She says, and these are spread out. I just haven't been bringing them up. Very deep, beautiful soul.
Oh, thank
She
you.
sent some emojis. Let me see. And then what she say? Incredible interview. Thank you, Fresh, for coming through to bless our brother and others with your testimony. Yes, and that's exactly what it is. It's a testimony, and to be able to just have a testimony like your dad say, you get to tell your story now. Um, in reference to your experience in the hospital, had you ever been in the hospital overnight before
No,
prior to this?
that was literally the first time I had ever did that, and I didn't know that was happening. I thought,
Mm,
you know, like we was gonna do surgery, and then, you know, like I was gonna go home. I was
mm,
there for 5 days, so I didn't expect to be
wow.
there that long.
Yeah, that's crazy. And then prior to this, again, um, because sometimes surgeries is same day. But prior to this, have you ever had a surgery?
Yeah, so I had just had ACL surgery October 10th of last year. So it was like a literal 12 months from that. So luckily that it had been so long, so my ACL was good and didn't re-tear through the accident, because I was super worried about that.
Right. Um, but other things was aggravated in your leg, obviously. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And things that may occur, God forbid, may can still could still happen because that's how delicate and at the same time on the other side tough the body is. You know what I mean? Like they say you're gonna feel it the next day, and as you get older, unfortunately, sometimes things that you went through, you may feel in the future. So, you know what I mean? Like when it comes down to like any legal battle that you may be in reference to your case, you know what I mean? That's something that they or you need to continue to highlight is reminding them that you're still young, and again, you don't know how you're gonna feel in the future. So
Right.
they need to compensate you for that. You know what I mean? Respectfully.
Respectfully.
You know what I'm talking about? So yeah, just like all of that is like really terrifying and scary. You know what I mean? When I was in my car accident, I was out the same day. Like within 3 hours, I went in like 9:30, and then I was out by 12:30. You know what I mean? That was
Mm,
only took so long because I had to find an Uber because my car was totaled. So I had to find an
yeah.
Uber, get a taxi, jump on the bus, etc., etc. But so and that's what's so crazy. Like some people's stories and experiences can be where it requires surgery, and then some people are just like scar free. You know what I mean? Like you don't understand what God has for you, but you know let this be a reminder that God has really big things for you, because the bigger the blessing, the bigger the storm in life. And you know what I mean, when you have to go through something that this deep that you had to survive through, and you're doing it with courage, you know what I mean, and you're doing it with a smile on your face, and you're doing it with a kind heart, in reference by not having any type of hate or in your heart at all for the person that had who's responsible for putting you through this, you have a huge, 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 huge many blessings, may I say, coming to you. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
all you gotta do is remain grateful and doing what you're doing. You know what I mean? Which is inspiring others and reminding people that you know what I mean. You know what I mean? What you've been through, and you know what I mean. With a just you have a great spirit. You know what I mean? I'm just
Thank you.
grateful to know
Thank
you
you.
and all of that. You know what I mean? I don't want to take too much of your time. I understand, I'm keeping up with the time, but if I may, you know what I mean, when it comes to like your music, you know what I mean, how has this experience influenced your music, your
Um,
musical side?
my musical side, I've been writing a lot. Um, Definitely been writing a lot. I sit in the house a lot, sit with my thoughts a lot. Um, it's definitely inspired me to do it more. I would say that I focus mainly on my poetry and doing poetry like things. Um, but it definitely wants me to continue to put my pain in music.
Hmm.
Definitely
Yeah,
makes me do that. I've been more on like a sadder tip. I won't say sad, but pain music, the type of
yeah,
the undertone that has, and I've been more in that kind of place with writing things, because I've just been in a place of why, like why did I survive that? What is the
mm,
bigger picture? What's next for me? Not saying that I didn't want to be here, but a lot of people don't get hit by cars and survive. I also, like I survived, and I'm also like I'm gonna be walking again in about a month. You feel what I'm saying? And so I've just been in that kind of place with my writing, just trying to figure out my purpose and make sure I'm moving in the right direction, and to keep doing it, because that's the way I'm gonna tell my story as well.
right, absolutely, absolutely. And let me put you on a little something, you know what I mean, and you may already know this, you know what I mean, in reference to kinetic energy. You know what I mean? So when kinetic energy builds up, and you know what I mean, you have two forces that collide, you being a force and the object, the car being a force and hitting you, that energy, when it hits you, it went inside of you. You know what I'm saying? It may have moved you, projected you, pushed you, you know what I'm saying? aggravated your you know what I'm saying, your posture or whatever the case may be. But now you actually, and I say this about myself too, because I'm only speaking about this because I can relate. You have a new power. You know what I'm saying? Like you gained a superpower by surviving that because it didn't kill you. And what doesn't kill you, remember, makes you
It's
stronger.
stronger.
And
Amen.
so you gain like a whole bunch of energy, and it's up to you to properly disperse that energy. And you can do it through music, you can do it through building a foundation, you can do it by this, you can do it by writing a book, you can do it by movie, whatever. But just know that you are even more powerful, you know, whether you acknowledge it or not, way more powerful than you were prior to this whole incident, to where, I'm glad to say again, and you are here to witness, you survived being hit by a moving vehicle. That is freaking amazing. You know what I mean? I'm
Thank
just
you.
so proud of you, and I'm excited to
Thank you.
see, going forward and just keeping up with your journey. You know what I mean? And let it be known you have my support. You know what I mean? I want to pray that, you continue to, God watches over you and all your family and friends, and you know what I mean, and may you be able to express yourself in the way exactly how, what I'm saying, you plan to. You know what I mean? Especially when continue to tell your story, and to be able to inspire others, and and remind people the power of the Most High too at the same time. Because if it wasn't for Him, if it wasn't for the Most High, the universe, there's no way we would have the
Amen.
pleasure of speaking to each other right now.
Amen.
In that order. In that order. Now, other people who have been hit by a vehicle, it is any type of advice or anything that you would want to give or share with anyone like that who may have not been as privileged to be able to come out on the other side, where they're still alive, but they may have been left paralyzed. They may have been left in a position or condition to where, they feel like giving up. You know what I mean? Is it something that you would say to the people in this position?
Um, yeah. I would say that, life isn't over. The same with me. God kept us here for a reason. A reason may be different than mine. However, they still have a reason to live. They still have a purpose. And this new life, may be hard. The life, after the accident may be hard, but it is still worth living. You still can find happiness, and you still can live a worthy life.
Yeah, well said, well put. You know what I mean? And hopefully, what I mean, it continue to help the right person. May the right person see this interview, the right people see this interview, and be able to embrace what you said, embrace your story, be inspired. Again, to everyone that's watching, thank you for tuning in today to another episode of Scar Tissue Talk Show. And please, if you could, before we get out of here, and Fresh the Poet, could you remind them how they can support a platform in any type of way?
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok at Fresh the Poet, FreshThePoet. I also have a GoFundMe. Anything helps. Definitely with the recovery. It's a link posted on all of my social medias. You can find that GoFundMe link there. I also have Cash App at Fresh Life 513, FreshLife 513.
Okay, I love it. I love it. And if I may, can you tell them what this project is right here?
So this song right here is called "Through My Eyes." I actually wrote it like 2 years ago, recorded it. 2 years ago. Finally released it this past summer. It was. I felt like it was very fitting for my current life. Expressing my story, telling my story. Through my eyes. And if you want to check that out, I'm on Apple Music. I'm on Spotify. I'm on YouTube. Just type that in, just how you see it. Fresh the Poet, Through My Eyes.
Absolutely. And I did check that track out because it's attached to your Facebook page, right? And it I would have thought that you currently wrote that because of how,
What's going
like,
on?
how it sounds. Like, it's crazy, like how sometimes we, can tell our future or explain things, and it's almost like a healing for you, something that, like, is almost like a reference to
Yep.
something, to like how to deal with, what you're going through currently. Like, it's crazy, but you,
Yep.
like, kind of a prophet prophesize, you know what I mean, something like that's crazy. But yeah, that just shows how special you are, and again, how many
Thank
more powerful things the Most High has for you. And again, God bless you. Let it be known you have my support. You know what I mean? If there's anything that I can do to continue to help you with your platform, whatever like that, don't be shy. Reach out to me. You know what I mean? I'm here, and I'm not that far away. You know what I'm talking about? So hey, be safe out there. Enjoy yourself. Have a great weekend, and just remember, you know what I mean. No pressure. Take it slow. You know what I mean. With it comes to your healing process. You know what I mean. In time, you will be back where you are, and even moving around. Hopefully, even better. But take it slow. Don't rush it.
All right. Thank you so much for having me.
No, thank you for being here, and thank you so much. Peace to you, Queen. And if anybody asks, I said
All right. Peace. Have a good one.
it. Peace, blessings. Thank you so much for tuning in to another great episode of Scar Tissue Talk Show. Again, you can find this show every first and third Thursday of every month, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Tell a friend. And remember, if you have a scar, reach out to me. I said it management at gmail.com. In the subject line, just put scar tissue. And man, we all have a story to tell. What's yours?